Good evening, Your Excellencies, Your Highnesses, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Ever since that Friday, I have watched a family cope with grief with such spiritual resolve, such dignity and strength. But that I might have expected from adults. But from Tochi, David, Hannah, and Okachi, and the responsibility that all of us as adults in their lives have, and the fears about how difficult this time would be. You children have been truly amazing. My brother and partner Herbert spoke publicly about his belief that time waits for no one. And Herbert lived life as a man on a mission who had limited time within which to complete his work. The fierce urgency of now drove him to pursue and attain heights of excellence that match the best of the best across the world. Yet despite the mountains scaled and the heights attained, Herbert still worried about whether he would have sufficient time to realize his ultimate dream, a dream we shared for a transformed Africa. February 9th, 2024, the day Herbert, Chizoba, Chizi, and Bimbo died, along with 2 pilots, was a terrible and tragic day for us all. But believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, on that day, Herbert was honored in a way that happens to very, very, very few human beings in history. As the breaking news of this tragic accident reverberated across the world, time stood still in honor of Herbert Wigwe. Let me explain. You see, time stands still at those moments when we all, mankind, stops for something that makes us reflect on our collective humanity. Mankind's consciousness can be triggered in this way from different perspectives. You remember the march to Washington when Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream." And the world stopped to understand what this dream was all about, and has not been the same again. You remember the time when a long-haired rock star called Bob Geldof assembled singers and they sang "We Are the World," and the world stopped, and the race for global philanthropy began. 2 examples that come immediately to mind, and which I chose because I think you can relate to them. When Herbert died, time stood still, enabling millions who already knew him, but hundreds of millions more who had never heard of him, to pause in unison, to learn and reflect, about this iconic African leader and to understand the full potential of what he was about to do for humanity. The breaking story was a wave felt around the world as the news hit mobile phones, TV screens, computers. From north to south and east to west, millions of people went onto the internet, searching and examining, reading and watching, to find out just who is this man, Herbert Wigwe. And time stood still, because God wanted the world to know and to understand who his son, Herbert Wigwe, was and is, and what he truly represents. And so, they learned about his early life and formative years. They learned about his family life, his kids, his siblings, his parents. They learned about his professional exploits and philanthropy. They even learned that Aigboje, the person referred to as his brother and partner, was neither his spouse nor biologically related to him. Most importantly, they learned that this man, Herbert Wigwe, is proof that Africa is still capable of producing outstanding men and women with the capacity to change the world in a good and a positive way. Tochi, Hannah, David, tell Okachi that Uncle Aigboje said, there are moments and there are moments. This is a moment. Herbert was committed to building an African continent where men and women can aspire and live to their full potential. He isn't the only person committed to this objective, but there are very few people in the world whose life and legacy illuminate this commitment the way Herbert Wigwe has. Some have told me in the last few months, Herbert was very concerned about the state of our nation and our continent. This is indeed true. And Herbert knew, ladies and gentlemen, that time was not on Nigeria's side, nor is time on Africa's side. If he was here today, Herbert would share these words with you. We are now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We are confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. This is no time for apathy or complacency. This is a time for vigorous and positive action. Herbert's purposeful legacy lies in what he was about to embark on. A collaborative commitment to building an African continent we will all be proud of. In memory of Herbert, let the work begin now. Thank you all for coming to honor my brother.
We appreciate Aigboje Aig-Imoukhuedu. As situations like this go, where a great man, a great light passes, very often there's no one left to protect their interest. And you find that certain things go without being attended to. But Tochi, David, Hannah, Ukachi, I'm very confident that with these men present, with Aigboje, Roosevelt, and many of the people you've heard speak today, not only will your father's interests be protected, but you will be protected as well. That will not be the case. In your case, you will see through the destiny that your father planned for you.